Welcome back to Pets on Parade. It's Deaf Dog Awareness Week. Deaf dogs and animals in general are usually born white without pigment. And the most common breeds that you'll find deaf dogs are Australian Shepherds, Dalmatians, sometimes Boxers, or Bulldogs like our friend Jeff here, a clumsy little puppy. Now you may think that it would be hard to communicate with a deaf dog, but they are very trainable, very obedient, and joining us to attest to this is the Arizona Humane Society's dog trainer, Janae. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So the first thing we need to figure out how to do with a deaf dog is communicate with them.
Yes, and it actually is very simple. We just have to be a little bit more creative. We're used to using kind of a verbal cues, sit down, stay. So instead, we just change that to hand signals, which are fairly simple. There's a lot from the AKC and also American Sign Language, which is very popular. And so it makes it very clear to the dog just watching what you want.
You know, there's set sign languages and things, but really anything that will get your dog's, attention, whatever signal you want to use, as long as the dog recognizes it, it's good.
Yeah,
right?
Just that teaching process, telling them what it actually means.
Right. There's a dog that we wanted to share a story. His name's Charlie. He actually learns a lot of sign language. He was adopted from a shelter. His owner trained him with sign language. He knows speak, sit, down, shake, heel, whenever his owner gives a signal. And he's actually become a service and therapy dog, which is just absolutely amazing. So it goes to show you that these dogs can absolutely be trained. Now, Charlie's owner, of course, put a lot of work into their dog and training them, and it does take a little bit of extra patience and time with a deaf dog.
Absolutely.
But explain, how you can first of all, get a deaf dog's attention, because especially a little puppy like Jeff can't hear. The whole world is very distracting for him.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes it can be very easy. I have a lot of tools like a flashlight, which is fairly simple. So if I shine it, hopefully he can see it.
Oh, wow.
That's so fun.
Right away, he caught that.
Yes, and so that can be a really good signal for them to come. I also have a little keychain flashlight with a little ping pong ball at the end, and it just makes a little light. So it's like a super simple clicker, if you've ever heard of clicker training. Instead of a sound, it just makes the visual sign for him.
And they catch on to that. Their other senses really kick in. So not only do they see things and are very sensitive to light, but they're also very sensitive to touch too. And just touch on that, Janae, how even especially when they're sleeping, how to deal with those types of things.
Yeah. So being that they can't hear you coming up and they're sleeping or anything can be a very jolting experience and startle them quite a bit. So we usually do quite a bit of practice, just desensitizing to touching, making sure it's always a positive experience. As for when they are sleeping, it's best to tell guests, maybe children also, not to bother them too much and just save that for yourself. But still can be a good experience if we help them.
Yeah, or even just maybe putting your hand up to their nose while they're sleeping, letting them smell you. I mean, their sense of smell is amazing too.
Yes.
And I have a friend that has a deaf dog who actually sleeps up against the wall of the front door, so they know when the door slams closed, the dog feels the vibration and wakes up instantly. So they're very smart, and they adapt very well. So deaf dogs are, of course, very trainable, very sweet, like Danae said. They can just be just as good and obedient as any other dog. And if you're interested in adopting this little pup here, Jeff, he is available at our Campus for Compassion today. Come on down and meet him. Give him a chance. He's a real sweet puppy. Danae, thanks so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. We've got more adoptable pets, and we'll tell you some great rescue stories as well when we come back.